Good evening, everybody. It's Jennifer here with JENN-Menship Jewels. I apologize for the lateness, but I feel like we need to do a little crafting tonight. And if you hear anything squirting, that's me squirting a water bottle, trying to keep my kitty out the way. I love him, but boy, he makes it hard to craft. So tonight, we're going to be using my Soft Flex fine wire made specifically for beading. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. You can get this through Amazon. Those are the only two places I've ever purchased this particular wire. Just so you know, it is wonderful. Absolutely love this and would recommend it 1000% if I could. And no, nobody's paying me to say that. I have some beads that we've got tonight. We're going to make a mixture. And I had selected these out. Some came from Hobby Lobby. A good majority, actually. And then there were a few that came individually packaged through Amazon or Temu. This is what our bead mixture looks like. Maybe you could see it a little bit better, the coloring. It's just gorgeous. So what do you say we get started and let's design us a pretty necklace, okay? All right. Now, let's see. I myself have a very methodical way I like to do things. I am very much a creature of habit. I like symmetry. I like things to match. If they don't match, it kind of just throws me off. Now, does that mean I won't do it? No. Does it mean I can't do it? No. It just means I have a difficult time. So I like to just start things off in balance. So what you see me doing right now is actually the design process where I'm just going through in my brain. I've kind of figured out how I want to place my beads, how I want to lay things out. But that doesn't mean that that's necessarily the way I'm going to do it. So I just kind of play with it, so to speak. I put it together, I line it up, and then I say, okay, this works for me, or no, this doesn't work for me. And then I keep going from there. For instance, we're gonna just keep going with the symmetry first. And right now, we're just kind of playing with the colors. What do we like? What do we not like? So how has everybody's day been? What have you been doing this week? Has your weekend been very busy? Has it been quiet? Mine has been incredibly busy, but incredibly blessed. I will not complain. Have nothing to complain about. Just, in all honesty, it's been busy. And busy's not bad. Don't get me wrong, busy's not bad. We're just kind of trying to unwind tonight. At least that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out, you know, wow. Phew, it's already Monday. What are we gonna do with that? It's not supposed to be Monday already, you know. But it is. It sneaks up on us, you know. At least it does me. But that's okay. That is okay. Now, as you see, I'm just moving things around and kind of playing with things, just getting a feel for what are we going to do, what are we not going to do. And again, I'm making everything nice and symmetrical. That's just my thing. Everybody has their own, and that's okay. That is totally okay. These beads here in particular are incredibly small, so they make it a little more difficult, but that's all right. That's okay. So, the other day I was telling you about a book I had been reading, and it was really good. Hold on, guys. I'm throwing myself off here. And I do that. I'm human. I make mistakes. Let's see, where was I? And anyway, I stopped reading that particular book, and I don't usually do it, but it was kind of getting a little bit on the depressing side, so to speak. And that's just not me. I'm not into depressing and sad and things like that. So I was like, you know what? Well, let somebody else read this one. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to let somebody else read it. And that is A-okay with me. That is A-okay with me. But I started another book today, and so far I'm only on chapter 2. But so far it's by Jojo Moyes, I think is how you say her name. And it's really good. Like, really good. And let's see, I gotta... Alright. Like, incredibly good. And I was very pleased. And, like, very well thought out. Very well written. I'm only on chapter 3. So, I mean, it could change. Don't get me wrong. It could change. Maybe it's not going to be everything I think it is. But so far, so good. I mean, really good. I've enjoyed every moment that I've read so far. It is definitely something that keeps my interest, which says a lot. Because that's not always easy to do. I don't have ADHD or ADD or anything like that. At least not that I'm aware of. But I definitely have a difficult time at times catching myself. Hang on one second, guys. We want to make sure we got the same thing. Now, let me use my needle just so I can keep a focus here. I'm trying to bring you into focus a little more. So this is my center bead here at 0. So I just literally go side to side and I double check that I have the exact same bead. Okay. I had the bead, but it was transposed with a different bead. That's why I take time and try to go back. Same thing here. This bead and this bead were set. Okay. And this bead goes right there. When you're dealing with such tiny beads, sometimes it's easy to miss one. And that's just what happened here. So we're going to go back and we're going to put it where it goes. Okay. Okay, so now take my needle, which I keep on a binder clip just because it makes it easier for me to see. And I'm just going to stick my finger in it to hold it open. I'm going to open up my soft flex. Okay. And then I know that this is approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm going to double my beads. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. Actually, I don't have much left on this particular one. Sad to cut it, but I am. Okay, so now I'm going to take each end and I'm going to marry it together. Okay, just like so. Butt them up together so that it gives me one nice long strand. Okay. This is probably one of the hardest parts here. I'm going to take my tiny little lobster claw and I got to fit this through that hole. Sometimes I can do it. Other times I just have to bend and bend and bend and bend until I can get it small enough. Sometimes I use my binder clip to help me. because that's the trick, is getting this end through that lobster claw. So here we are. We're going to take our needle. Didn't want to have to, but we are. We're going to take our needle and see if we can thread it through. It might not work because it's going to be 4 thicknesses. And these are tiny. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we got it in. Oh, we got it through. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Now we take it, and we're going to make sure our ends are still pretty close. They are. Thank you. Okay. And then we're going to do what we're famous for doing when we have a lobster claw. And that's going to be, we're going to make a loop. Okay. And that loop is going to put our lobster claw securely in the middle of our necklace that we're making. Okay, so we're going to pull it through, pull it through. We've got both ends pretty close. So now what I like to do, this is just me, you don't have to. But since I know I'm going to be working with them together, I like to give them a haircut so that they're even. Alright, now we're going to put this back through our trusty needle, which I am getting better at putting through the openings, but sometimes I tell you, it's hard. Okay. And so what you have here is you have your double wire and you have your lobster claw. And then I just try to make it as even as I can once I get them both through. And that may mean I have to wiggle a little bit or whatever, but that's okay. I can do that. All right. Now, we got them pretty even, so we're just going to start at whatever end we want to. And I typically start at my right-hand side, because I'm right-handed. Okay, and so we have our lobster claw. You don't even see the knot, because there is none. You don't see the loop, because that tiny, tiny bead covers your loop, okay? And now we simply bead. And sometimes I'm quicker than others when it comes to the beading portion, and I apologize for that. However, being visually impaired limits how quickly I'm able to actually bead. All of these beads that you see tonight for this particular necklace are glass beads. Like I said, the majority came from Hobby Lobby. They were on a strand. I was doing a video earlier, and to my taste, it became too long and too lengthy, and I am honestly trying to grow my channel. And by doing that, I would like to keep my videos at least at a length to where someone might enjoy watching them. And I do not claim to be a professional. I don't claim to be an expert. I claim to be someone who loves crafting of all sorts. A friend of mine, Lynn, with Bracelets by Creative Chaos, I think is her name. I'll have to double check, but she is crocheting now. This woman is many talents, multi-talent. You name it, she does it. And I haven't seen a craft yet that she's not afraid to tackle. So between the two of us, I have a feeling that if it's available, we're going to try it. And we have another crafting buddy, Carol, who she will try it and she will do. So there's just a community of us. And my thing is, I want us all to grow. I enjoy crafting for gifts. I do sell some items. So if I ever make something that you might be interested in purchasing, feel free to give me a message or just leave a comment and we can talk about it. I do like custom orders the very best. But anyway, back to our crafting community. I would hope and pray that each of you would feel comfortable enough that you would want to join. And I have no problem if you want to give yourself a shout out and say, you know, hey, look, this is me and this is what I make. And because I truly feel that we are a community, we are a family. We, for instance, Lynn and I have gotten incredibly close. I do feel as if she is my sister from another mister, as they say. And one day, I don't know when that day will be, but one day, she and I will meet in person. That's just all there is to it. Because I'm a big hugger, and by golly, I'm going to hug her neck. And we are going to sit, and we are going to visit. And that's just all there is to it. And I would love to grow and one day have a get-together. And be like, you know, look, let's all meet up at such and such and share our talents and learn from one another. And yes, some of us has been crafting much longer than others. Some have only just begun within the last few months, few weeks. But I think we have enough for each person. There's always plenty. We can always grow. That's like someone was saying one time at a craft fair, well, such and such a couple booths down, they're my competition because they have a similar item. No, they're not really your competition. They're part of your community. That shows that you have similar taste. So there's enough business, so to speak, for everyone. So if you are simply crafting just to make a profit, just to make money, just to have a business, that's good. That's great, because there's enough for everybody. But if you're crafting to have a business, but yet you're crafting for the love of it, and you like to gift people and, you know, things of that nature, that's good. That's great. You hear my kitty in the background. I apologize. Poor Scuttle. A friend of mine told me to get him to stay out of my videos so that he's not knocking beads everywhere while I'm trying to make something to get a water bottle and spray him with the water bottle. Well, I tried. It works. But then he looks at me as if to say, Mom, how rude. So, anyway, I'm going to bead just until the very middle of this necklace. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I would tie it off and secure it, because I don't want to keep you too long. And then if you want to go ahead and log out, by all means, please do. But while you're doing so, since I've talked so much about my pets, Scuttle and Teddy, I would love to hear about yours. So if you can, drop a picture of your fur baby in the comment below and tell me about him or her. How long have you had him? Was he a rescue? You see mine sneaking up behind me on the other side. Turkey, you so rotten. I see you. Bubba, no. Okay, this is what half of our necklace looks like. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, with that said, to tie this off, what you're going to do is you're going to take your bead stopper, your knot hider is what I call this, and you're going to put both ends of your wire through this. You're going to make your knots and secure it. Then you're going to close it with your pliers, and when you do, you're going to have a simple small knot, a small circle, pardon me, at the top of your necklace. And you're going to simply take that circle and take your jump ring and secure it, and when you do, your necklace will be complete. So with that being said, if anyone would like to go ahead and leave, it's okay, but I am going to, as quick as my eyes will allow me, complete this necklace so that everyone can see the finished product. I will also try to remember to take a photograph and put in the comments below. So, anyway, something about me that many people may not know is years ago, I used to sing. I do not sing anymore because of vocal damage, but that was one of my passions, and I was in a couple of groups, went all over, so to speak, saw several states, never went out of the states or anything like that, but the most quote famous person I ever sang with was Stagger Lee, who was Brenda Lee, and I'm dating myself, Brenda Lee's brother, and he had a band called the Red River Review, and he played in Bossier City, Louisiana, on the Texas Strip, as they called it, and I used to sing with him quite often, and I sang for, like I say, several years. I'm a voracious reader. You see my turkey, he snuck up here, yeah. He acts like I don't see him. As long as he's leaving Mommy's beads alone, I'm gonna let him sit, 'cause that's my pretty boy. But he's gotta leave my beads alone. And anyway, usually I will read pretty much any genre except sci-fi or horror. I will read a history book and still find enjoyment. I will read, my favorite is probably Amish romance, Amish books in general. I just find the simple way of life so fascinating. I wish we could go back to more and more of that. Actually, while I'm talking, and I don't mean to bug anybody, I'm just trying to get to know one another. I would love it if someone could give me a super easy bread recipe. I am wanting to try to start making bread, but I need something incredibly easy because I do not have a bread machine. I just have my 2 hands and my little brain that works most of the time. Sometimes it I tell people my brain is broke. I'm sorry. But I really want to learn how to bake bread. So if any of you out there are bread makers or have a super simple recipe for bread, please share it. Please link it below. I would just absolutely be very grateful if it was something that I could actually do. I'm a carb lover, God help me, and there are just times when the idea of fresh bread with real soft whipped homemade salted butter that I get, or as close to homemade, let's put it that way, salted butter on a hot piece of bread sounds like a little slice of heaven to me. Just the idea of it is just so yummy, and I will share recipes with you if you would like. I still would desire some feedback from you as to what would you like me to do. I love reading, I love discussing books, I love diamond painting, I love beading. The next thing I think I'm going to make for you is going to be a couple of different bookmarks with beads, both glass beads as well as some that may be with more of silicone beads. Show you a couple of options that I have learned. I have a couple of twin grandbabies that are 6 months. I am going to learn how to do some pacifier clips soon. For aesthetic reasons only, even though the silicone I use is indeed food grade and would be safe, I would not want them, by my own preference, to have them on other than when mommy or daddy is with them, because they are at that age where they are starting to teeth. And you know how that goes if you are a parent. Even if you're not a parent, you probably have been around a young child at some time, a teething baby. And let's just say most of them, not all, but most, haha, I got all the beads put on without you scattering them, Scuttle. Most teething babies do in fact put literally almost everything in their mouth. Not all, but most. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Okay. We have everything on both of our on our wire, which again is like double. Whoops, one of the beads fell off. Okay, that's okay. We will put it on individually. Let's see here. Come here, you little bad bead. Okay. All right, we got it. Now, okay, next step is we're going to take our knot hider, and again we got to put both ends into the knot hider, okay, which we've done. Now we take our ends and we're going to make one loop and pull, and then we're going to do one, and then two, that's our surgeon's knot, and pull. one loop and pull, one loop and pull. All right, now this is where I like to take my little flush cutters, which I did not bring down here with me, so I'm going to simply, whoops, hang on, I made a mistake. Old human me made a mistake. When I went and did my pull on one of my knots, I did not make sure that my loop was indeed inside the loop, the knot hider. So it's actually outside. So I need to pull it through. And I'm just using the tip of my scissors to get it large enough so that I can pull that through and hide it. Okay, now I'm going to snip it a little close. I will go back and glue this with E6000. But for time's sake, I'm just trying to show you the process. All right. So then take and you're going to smash it together. That's going to hide that knot. Remember, I have flush cutters. And then you're going to take your pliers. Let me go ahead and grab my pliers. Excuse me. If you're going to do something, you may as well do it right the first time, right? Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to take my flush cutter and I'm going to go ahead, because it's going to drive me crazy if I don't, and I'm going to open this up a little bit so that it can get in there good, right? So we're going to open that back up. We're going to take my flush cutter here. Come on. It's a little hard in tight spaces, y'all. I apologize. I didn't quite get it enough. Would help if I grabbed the right plier. Okay, sorry about that. They're both green and I had grabbed the wrong plier. All right, so you're going to take your pliers. You're going to smash it closed, okay? All right, and then you're going to take and you're going to open this jump ring. And remember, we don't ever pull them apart, we twist side to side. My problem is I don't see the opening at all, so I have to twist until I see an opening. All right. So then you take your jump ring and you're going to feed it through your holes. And remember, there's holes on both, there's 2 holes. So you want to get it through both of your holes. Sometimes it takes a little finagling. And then you simply close your jump ring back. Make sure it looks nice and secure. And then you take your one end, you take your other end with your lobster clasp, you open it, and there you have it, guys. Beautiful necklace. It's nice, it's heavy, it's very neutral, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. So I'm going to invite you to stay comfy, stay cozy, and come craft with me again. Good night and God bless.